Banner, I think it's time.
Release the ferrets.
Hey guys, welcome back into the Bro Force Squad podcast. This is our review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode 5, titled Rewind. I'm your host, Jeff Hornacek. Thank you so much for checking us out. Here with me, as always, is the mad scientist, Brian Banner, to review this episode as we do all of our TV episodes on our 4 criteria: the performances, the story, our favorite scene, and theories going forward. So, Brian, Episode 5 gave us a new wrinkle. It was our first Earthbound episode this season, probably the first for a while as well. And we had 2 returning cast members who we had not seen yet at all this season. So, what'd you think?
I loved it. I know you've got a lot to say. You like Nick Blood as Lance Hunter, so I'll leave him to you. I'll talk about Fitz because I've been sucking his dick for this entire season, and he hasn't even been on it yet. He did fantastic. I was a little afraid that when we finally got him, it would be a little bit of a letdown because he did so good in Agents of Hydra, and then we haven't seen him, and so we've built him up in my head, and I'm really excited to have him, and then he was just okay. No, not the case at all. He absolutely crushed it, picked up right where he left off. You can really tell the internal struggle that he has between what he saw in the framework and who he was in the framework, and now that he's out, missing his friends, and all he wants to do is get back to his friends. So I was super, super excited to see him back, and obviously he just crushed it like he did. He literally picked up where he left off.
Big fan of Nick Blood, obviously. Let me show you what I think any exchange Nick Blood has at a bar with a girl goes like, "Hello, I'm Nick Blood. That's a fucking awesome name, and I have a British accent, and I'm an actor in really good shape. Okay, I will go home and sleep with you." That's probably about how difficult it is for that guy, because he has an awesome name and a ton of charisma on screen. He's always been a favorite character of mine, and when him and Mockingbird left the show about a season and a half ago to get their spin-off show, which never happened, I was a little disappointed because not only did we lose them on the show, but they didn't fucking get their show. But this was a nice way to bring him back, and I think he's better in the ensemble setting, so it probably doesn't work like 22 episodes of just him and somebody else, but it was always cool to have him re-injected in the show, and I think they had a really creative way of doing it.
Well, and it's nice to see that he has an option. They have him now in their back pocket to kind of bring him back later if they ever do become Earthbound again. So I'm excited to see that, if they do bring him back.
And it was cool to see him in Fitz because I don't remember – I mean, yeah, they had a few scenes together when he was back on the show, but we obviously never got them to this extent, and that's a dynamic that really works because of how alike they are in their interests, but also how different they are in terms of their skill set, which we'll get to here in a sec. Best scene in this episode. Sorry. The story and plot here was big because it answered a few questions that we were worried that we would be teased the entire rest of the season. So what do you think of the little tidbits that they gave us?
I really liked it. They also got right to the fucking point, which I was really happy about. They didn't just kind of like tickle our balls about, oh yeah, he's back, but I don't know how he got there. Like, there is no question after this episode, we know how Fitz made it 70 years or 90 years or however many years in the future to meet up with the rest of the team. So I really like that. I like that it was a story just about what Fitz has been doing since we last saw him at the end of season 4. Very, very cool how they did it. And obviously Notch or whatever the fuck that guy's name is, the bald guy, the really weird dude. Introducing
the Omnicron or whatever.
Yeah. Introducing him into the story and how he is going to be a bigger part moving forward. I can foresee that.
You sound like him. I can foresee it.
I can foresee it. Yeah. Well, it's all because of the seer. You know, I have a little daughter that just draws shit because she's weird and doesn't talk.
Can we take her to a sports book in Vegas? I feel like that could be very lucrative for us.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to do this pod anymore.
No, we'll just bet on WNBA games. Real quick on the story, we needed this episode for this type of exposition and explanation. And again, I think one of the strengths of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that a lot of shows fall into, looking at you, Lost, is they end up just collapsing under the weight of these questions that they've asked us that they don't answer. And this just gives us a little bit of relief when it says, look, we're not going to dick you around for 22 episodes or however long the season is. Here's some answers to what happened. Let's get on with the story and show you where this is going. All right. Best scene, you and I quibbled over this. That's a real word, but I feel like that's what Lance Hunter would say. We quibbled over this one before the episode. I'll give you our best scene, and then I'll come in with my runner-up.
Best scene is definitely the montage scene with Fitz in jail writing the secret letters to complain about his football club. And then Lance Hunter coming in, posing as his lawyer, them having their little fight, and then not having an escape plan, except for Lance does have one, blows the hole in the wall, and they escape. That was just... It was a really, really well done scene because that is 100% Hunter's style. And that's what the show has been missing since he left the show. And they immediately brought that back in. He was able to pick up right where he left off. But we still got that emotion of the two characters coming together where they both have kind of lost everything and are able to help each other.
I know he probably died, but when Rusty crashed that helicopter, I laughed.
Oh, I laughed my ass off.
He was like, well, he was supposed to create a distraction. I was thinking, like, well, him dying in a fiery crash is probably going to distract
It's
some
the
people.
best money can buy. Well, the best my money can buy.
Yeah, that's what I tell my wife when we end up at Applebee's instead of an actual date restaurant. My favorite scene was, again, just showing more about how cool the dynamic between Fitz and Hunter was. It's where they found the Quinjet again, and they have the standoff, and Fitz is just icing the shit. When I say icing, no, college kids. He didn't pull out a Smirnoff Ice raspberry. He did something not
He
as
should
bad,
have, though.
That would have been worse.
It would have had the
might
same
actually-
effect.
Yeah, it might have actually. It would definitely would have knocked him out, going to a sugar coma. But the cool thing about that scene is Hunter's like, maybe you should start the jet and I'll shoot at these guys. And Fitz is kind of like, yeah, I'm not the same Fitz that you remember. Like, I'm kind of a badass now. And Hunter was like, that's pretty cool, actually. I like this version of you. So that was a fun scene for me, just because it had changed up their relationship a little bit. And anytime they were on screen together, sort of joking with one another, this episode was just kicking ass. All right, theories going forward, Banner. This is a tough one because this really just answered a lot of questions for us. It didn't really give us much to nibble on in terms of theories, and that's not a complaint. This did a lot for me this season. Anything that you want to speculate on after this, or just reiterate a theory you've had from earlier in the season that you still want to stand by?
I don't think I've got anything that I want to reiterate. I'm very intrigued. The general that just goes off capping people that pisses her off, she's got to come back. So that tells me that we are going to be Earthbound again at some point in this season, which I think you and me are both excited about because I don't know that I can take another, we're 5 episodes in, so another 17 episodes of them on this space station thing. I am excited to see them come back, how they're going to get to come back, and to present time. Is that going to be present time right after Infinity War, right before Infinity War? I don't know, but I'm very intrigued and very excited that we're going to get more of that character. They gave us just enough of her for me to be like, I want more.
Yeah, she thinks that she's just playing Grand Theft Auto, walking around killing people. And obviously she's taking the place of Talbot, who we're told is in a coma. The only theory I have is she's obviously not United States Air Force personnel. Otherwise, like, I don't know who her dad is, but you can't just be, like, shooting people that you don't like what they're doing. So
I mean,
I don't know
can.
who she
It's
is.
just really, really frowned.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you can. You just, like, go to jail hard.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a little played out if she was like another sleeper cell of Hydra. Like, all right, we get it. Like, how many are there? And I don't know. I don't know. I don't even have a theory on her, but I'm intrigued to where it's going. And maybe next time they give us a little bit more to deal with. Because she didn't really make that character turn until, like, literally the last scene of the episode. So I don't have much to work off of. But I would guess that she's obviously not actually part of the USAF. She's either impersonating someone or is, again, part of some sleeper cell. Maybe the probably at the Watchdogs.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wouldn't be upset if she's part of the Watchdogs, but I don't want her to be.
Right. That kind of makes sense. All right, guys. Thank you for checking out the Bro Force Squad. For the mad scientist Brian Banner, I'm the mayor Jeff Hornacek. Give us a follow on Twitter at Bro Force Squad. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes, Bro Force Squad, 3 words. And check out all of our content on our website, broforcesquad.com. Until then, we will catch you next time. These things, they can just take your limb off.
Dude, ferrets are dangerous. They can bite you and like scratch you, and like I'm pretty sure they can eat your guts out.